Hey guys, what's going on? Chappy All here with another video for you guys, and today I'm going to be showcasing my 4-in-1 Gotham Knights weapon. Now if you're confused, allow me to explain. In Gotham Knights, which I have yet to play, each of the 4 characters have weapons tailored specifically to them, either based on their combat style or based on comic book lore, because these characters have existed in the comic book universe before. Robin has a battle staff. Batgirl has police riot batons. I'm sure there's an official name for them somewhere. Nightwing has his Eskrima sticks, and Red Hood has pistols. Now, way back in 2020, when the first trailer for Gotham Knights came out, I wanted to make all 4 of those weapons individually. And I never got around to making that, but it might be something I want to tackle somewhere down the line. Flash forward 2 years later, Gotham Knights is coming out. I'm watching all the trailers, trying to hype myself up for it, and I noticed for the first time in all 2 years that all 4 weapons look very similar to each other, which gave me the idea of making all 4 weapons into one accessible weapon. Thus came this thing. So, believe it or not, this has all 4 weapons included. This has the staff, which is the configuration it's in right now. It has the Eskrima sticks. It has a police riot baton. And it has a pistol. So this is the staff configuration. And what's also kind of cool is it helps give you a sneak peek of what the rest of the weapons are going to be like. So this is staff formation, and if you want to go to Eskrima sticks, just simply pull them together like that. Then, with the longer one, you can simply pull out this handle, and you have your police riot baton. And then if you take your shorter Eskrima stick, if you turn this, push it in, pull out the handle, pull out the trigger, you have Red Hood's pistol. Now I'm going to go ahead and say this does not look like a pistol at all. It's a little haphazard, but it's because it was the only way I could figure out how to fit like a pistol and a handle into a tube. So it was the only thing I could work with. And then if you want to go back to staff position, just fold in the trigger, and the handle. Pull this thing out, turn it around, take your baton, fold in the handle, stick everything together, and you have your staff in its original form. So, this started out as one big cardboard tube that I actually had sitting in my closet. Originally, I wanted to use it for making Mando's Beskar spear, but I never got around to it because I never really thought about tackling it, because there's not a whole lot to do for tackling it. I wanted to try to make it DIY originally, so I had like cardboard pieces and I had cardboard circles that I was trying to glue together. The glue wouldn't stick, which I'm not really sure why, but it wouldn't stick and it made it hard to keep in its circle formation. So I remembered that I had this in my closet, so I went to it, found it, and I thought it was the perfect length and structure for making my 4-in-1 Gotham Knights thing. What's more, it's pretty sturdy too, because the cardboard is, this is a cardboard tube, and it's really, really thick, which subsequently makes it really tough. So, first thing I did, I measured to about the middle, and then I cut it in half. So then I had my 2 little, I'm holding them the wrong way, I had my 2 little Eskrima sticks. But then I still wanted to be able to stick together. So I took another cardboard piece, I rolled it up, which you can kind of see here, and then glued it together at the top. And then I put some glue on the edge and then stuck it in so that way it was in enough where it would stay stable, but it was out enough where it could stick to the other Eskrima stick, no problem. So then I had my Eskrima sticks. And originally they were both the same size. Now for the police riot baton, that was the more simple thing to do because all I needed to do was cut out a gap here, make a handle, put a hole in the side, put a dowel on the handle, and there we go. Now, what was a little hard was cutting out the cardboard because like I said, it's a thick cardboard tube. So cutting it out proved to be a little bit of a difficulty, but still able to do it. Not very clean, but it's enough. And then I made a handle, made a hole, put a dowel in it, and the handle comes up and goes down with these. And actually, it's really satisfying to pull in and take out. Now, one thing I will say is that it feels a little uneasy when I'm holding it, especially when I'm trying to swing it around. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because the handle is too short. I'm not quite sure, but I mean, it still works. And if you want to, you could just kind of like tuck it under here and then use it. That's what I do, and I feel a lot better with it, but yeah, it works. Also, I do realize that it's ridiculously long, which I thought it was when I saw some of Batgirl's gameplay in Gotham Knights, but yeah, I'm not sure actually. Then came the pistol, and that was by far the hardest one to make because I had to take a pistol, take away everything that made it look cool, and then make it like one of those like foldable pistols that you can get online. So, first thing I did was I cut this in half, I'm pretty sure. And then I'm trying to remember what I did. I kind of cut down the middle and then stretched it out because the idea was that it needed to be big enough to like go on the other tube, but it still needed to be able to retain its thickness, which I also try to do with this little circle bit at the front to kind of keep everything sturdy and straight. So then I had these two pieces. I pushed everything together to try to get a good hole for the gun. I'm not going to push it in all the way because since I spray painted it, it's very hard to take out. So I'm just going to leave it in like this, so it's easier to talk about. So then I put a gap in this little grid for the handle, because if you push it all the way in, the handle bump just kind of sits there. And then it's easier to take out through both of them. And then the handle was a separate piece that I had to make. It was just like a separate, I'm gonna pull it out so I can show you. It was a separate piece of cardboard that I had kind of folding a little bit that I glued on the inside of here. And then I originally made it a whole thing, but then I made it hollow-ish, so it would have room to store the trigger also on the inside of the gun, which you can see right here. Now, originally I wanted to do a magnet to kind of keep the trigger in place, but I think that would interfere with the rest of the mechanism. So the way that I just kind of keep it stable is I hold it like this, keep my pointer finger up at the gun, and then I use my middle finger to pull the trigger. And speaking of which, there you go. And it moves pretty well, actually. It's no rubber bands, it's just another folded cardboard piece. I'll try to show it if I can. You can kind of see the cardboard in there, and it's attached to this piece. And then just easily folds back in. And then when you fold that back in, you would fold down the handle, holds the trigger with ease, and then you would pull it back out. Turn it around, and there you go. Now, I will say there is definitely a very visible gap but it's still stable, so it works out for me. And you can see a lot of the spray paint has been chipped off because of how much I've been moving it around, which I'm okay with, honestly. Like I said, this was really hard because I was trying to figure out how to go from an Eskrima stick to a pistol, because in my journal where I write down all like my little project ideas and different like schematics for them, for the gun, I kind of pictured it like going from an Eskrima stick to a pistol, which on paper was very easy to do, but I was trying to figure out how to do that with this, because this is round, pistols are mostly square, so I was trying to figure out the best way to do that. And after lots of thinking and brainstorming, I managed to get it to a point where it could stay as a tube, but it could also come out and be a pistol. Which honestly, I don't think looks terrible. I think it looks alright. And then back in its staff form. Now, one thing I will say is that each of the weapons in Gotham Knights has like a light on them, kind of specific to their colors. Like Robin has green, Batgirl is yellow, Nightwing has blue, Red Hood has purple. No, I'm kidding, red. But because this is a 4-in-1, I didn't add any of like the light detailing, because then it would be really confusing. And then you'd have to be like, you could have green on this side, but then if you were to put it to red, you'd have to like switch it to this side. If it were blue, you'd have to switch to another side, and it was just really complicated. And unfortunately, I am not an electrician's expert, so I can't figure out how to work LEDs. I only know how to turn them on. So if I make the 4 of them individually, then I will definitely add some lights to them. Or like colors and whatnot. But as it is, I'm content with the plain black look. And besides, it looks pretty cool as it is. So before we wrap this video, I have some special news for y'all. I have an Instagram account, and that one has all the behind-the-scenes stuff for all my projects that I'm making. It'll mostly be cardboard project-related stuff, not really rankings. Maybe every now and then I'll do stuff, but it's mostly for my cardboard projects and stuff. And I made it because the other day I was working on Aloy's Spear from Horizon Forbidden West, and I thought it would be cool for you guys to see some status updates on how that's going, because I loved working on it, and I still have some more stuff I need to do. So, I'll have a link in the description, or you can go to Instagram and search up chapsmith_corrugations. Awesome name, right? And then you can follow me, you can see all the projects, maybe I'll do live streams every now and then so we can talk. So if you want to see behind the scenes stuff, that is definitely the place to go. I figured that would be more accessible than a secondary YouTube channel. Maybe if I grow in popularity, we'll get to that. Anyway, that is it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I don't have anything else that I'm showcasing this year, but I will make a final video on either New Year's Eve or the day before, somewhere around that time, doing a final wrap-up talking about what I've done and what I'm going to do, which I'm also really excited for. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, once again, like and subscribe, click the bell so you can get notifications, share this video to someone who you think will be interested in what I made today. Until next time, I'm Chappy Liftall, and have a Merry Christmas.